where these quarterbacks land that are on your
Mhm.
list. First pick in the NFL draft this year, there's no surprise. Chicago Bears are going to be taking USC quarterback Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
They already made a decision weeks ago to ship Justin Fields to the Steelers, so that made their decision going with Caleb. Looks like a can't miss prospect on paper. We've seen that before, though.
Mhm.
He is a little arrogant at times, but if this works out, it will change the Bears franchise for years and years to come. If it doesn't, they're going to always think of what could have been if they kept Justin Fields instead.
It's a terribly kept secret that he's going to be the first
Yeah.
guy taken. I mean, Ryan Poles, their GM's son, already has Caleb Williams as his background on his phone.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, there you go.
And it sounds like tomorrow, Wednesday, the Bears are going to hold a press conference to announce a stadium plans for Lakefront Stadium. So,
Yep. So, I do think the Bears will come out of this draft more exciting than they've been in a long time.
They need a little bit of swagger and Caleb Williams' arrogance. So,
yep. Number 2, this is where it gets interesting, I think, already. Number 2 pick with the Washington Commanders. I definitely think they go quarterback, but it's like, who do they go? Do they go Drake May from North Carolina, Jaden Daniels from LSU, or J.J. McCarthy from Michigan, who's starting to creep up the board for a lot of people? I have them taking Drake May out of North Carolina. Don't know why. I just feel like he fits there a little better. I think he can be Dan Quinn's Matt Ryan. I guess.
Yeah.
Number 3, New England Patriots. I know some people say, the Patriots have said they're open for business, trading back. I think they go quarterback. I think they go Jaden Daniels for LSU, Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels is one of those guys that he absolutely murdered lower level opponents last year.
Yep.
And did not play all that great against the big boys. So Jaden Daniels, he flew up draft boards, and I think he's the kind of quarterback that gets you fired.
Oh, he could, definitely. I think he's probably the scariest one out of all the projected first round picks, because he got a high ceiling but a low floor. So
and he'll definitely. I'd be surprised if he's not in that top 3. Either Washington or New England there.
Yep. Number 4, I have the Cardinals staying put. A lot of people have them trading back. I think at the end of the day, they decide, you know what? We can go get our next Larry Fitzgerald and get Marvin Harrison Jr. from Ohio State.
Yeah, pretty similar players, honestly. It seems like people started talking trash a little bit about Harrison moving him down boards. I think it's just because he was so good for so long at Ohio State that for whatever reason, there's more tape out there. People just kind of get sick of him and they start moving him down. And it'd be really stupid for a guy like him to fall out of the top 10, which I don't think he'd fall out of the top 10. But Arizona would be very smart to take him at 4.
Yeah, I mean, Kyler Murray, this might be his last year in Arizona, not sure, but give him a weapon.
Yeah.
Another weapon round, see what he can do. And even if, Kyler's not your guy, whoever your next guy is, he's got a great weapon, assuming Marvin Harrison Jr. becomes what we all think he's going to become.
Yeah.
So, a good friend of the show, Aaron Lynch, who's a Colts fan, he really wanted me to mock the Colts moving way up and taking Harrison Jr. I'm like, they don't have the ammo. He goes, they could trade 3 first-round picks. I'm like, well, that would do it, but that'd be really stupid.
That'd be really stupid for a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Nice idea there, Lynch. Good Lord.
He goes, Irsay would do it, but Ballard wouldn't. So he might got a point there. Number 5, I got my first trade of the draft. I have the Los Angeles Chargers trading the number 5 pick to the Minnesota Vikings. Jim Harbaugh decides where his former Michigan quarterback goes, and the Vikings take J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah, that I do think Minnesota will absolutely trade up for a quarterback. They obviously need one because I think they signed Sam Darnold, didn't they, in the offseason?
Yes, they did. Yep.
He might be a placeholder for 4 games, and then your rookie's going to come in. So it'll be interesting because they could absolutely trade up to 2, which would be fascinating if they do that to see who they'd take. They might still take J.J. McCarthy if they trade up to 2.
You think they could? You think Washington would trade out 2?
They have a lot of needs that aren't this quarterback. I think they'd be stupid to trade out of 2, but Washington's been a dumb franchise for years. So
well, the Vikings have 2 first-round picks, and they would both go to Chargers in return for this. So Number 6 got the New York Giants. They've been a team too rumored to maybe take a quarterback. I think it's a bluff. I don't think they're going to do it. I think they're going to give Daniel Jones one more shot, and then his backup is Drew Lock, a 1-year deal. But I think they get Daniel Jones some help and Malik Neighbors, wide receiver from LSU.
Yeah, the whole quarterback talk's got to be. I mean, it's a smokescreen to see if somebody will try to trade with them so they can trade back for sure.
Yep. Number 7, Tennessee Titans. Pretty boring team. They need a lot of help. I think they get the best offensive lineman in the draft, Joe Alt from Notre Dame. Number 8, Atlanta Falcons. About every mock draft has this guy falling at 8 to Atlanta, and that's edge rusher from Alabama, Dallas Turner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that offense will be pretty dang good in Atlanta, but they need some defensive help.
Yep. I checked. I think I've mocked a edge rusher to Atlanta like the past 3 or 4 years, and it hasn't happened. So maybe this is the year it happens.
This is the year.
Number 9, Chicago Bears. Yes, they have 2 top 10 picks this year. I have seen people say they could drop back from the 9th spot, which they could, but I think they get Caleb Williams a weapon in Rome Odunze out of Washington.
Yeah, Rome. I mean, he could honestly be the first wide receiver taken too.
He could.
Now, this is such a deep draft with wide receivers that yet getting Caleb Williams, Rome Odunze, pair him with DJ Moore and Keenan Allen, and that offense looks a whole lot different on Friday.
And Cole Kmet as tight end.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're talking about probably
Khalil Herbert too, running back. So
most exciting Bears offense ever
on paper.
I mean, even in the Super Bowl days, it was Walter was pretty much their offense, but then they had great defense.
Yeah.
So, number 10, the New York Jets. They're not going quarterback. They got Aaron Rodgers for a year, assuming his Achilles can hold up. But they're going to give Aaron Rodgers a weapon in Brock Bowers, tight end from Georgia.
I'd hate that.
Yeah.
Absolutely hate that.
I'd love to see him fall to 12 because if the Broncos don't go quarterback, I'd love to. They need a tight end pretty bad.
He is a potential elite tight end.
Yep. Number 11, that's where I have the Chargers. They get the 11th pick because they traded their number 5 pick with the Vikings. This is going to test my pronunciation ability. I haven't taken Olu Fashanu, I believe is how you pronounce his last name.
Sure.
Office tackle for Pitt State. So, yeah, I probably butchered that. But number 12, I have the Denver Broncos trading the 12th pick with the Philadelphia Eagles. So they would get the Eagles 22nd pick in the first round and the Eagles 2nd round pick because they do not have a 2nd round pick. That's why I think they fall back to try to get some more picks as well. I have the Eagles taking cornerback Terrion Arnold from Alabama.
What?
Number 13, Las Vegas Raiders, another team not a lot of people are talking about that could move up into the top 10, especially if they want a quarterback. They did sign Gardner Minshew. They have Aiden O'Connell returning. Don't know if Antonio Pierce is sold on either of those guys. I think they take quarterback. I think they take Michael Penix Jr. from Washington.
All right. Yeah. Hard to believe just 3 years ago watching Penix for Indiana. I know he was good at Indiana. I'll give him that. But to think he'd be a first-round pick, I would have laughed in your face.
Oh, I know. Right there with you. Number 14, New Orleans Saints. I have them getting some offensive line help with Talise Wegawa, offensive tackle from Oregon State, which it wouldn't shock me if he goes in top 10. I see a lot of people have him in the top 10, but I had him sliding back a little bit.
Yeah. Saints are the boringest team in the NFL.
They are really boring.
It's terrible.
They're really boring. Number 15, Indianapolis Colts. They could be a candidate to move up or move back. Ballard loves getting picks. But I have them getting some edge rush help there, getting edge rusher Jared Verse from Florida State.
You can't have too many edge rushers.
No,
just ask the Dolphins and who they were pulling up off the street for that playoff game against the Chiefs.
Number 16, Seattle Seahawks, another team that's kind of boring.
Yeah.
New coach, though. New regime out there. No more Pete Carroll. I have them give some protection for Geno Smith and Troy Fatanu, offensive tackle from Washington. Number 17, Jacksonville Jaguars. I was between wide receiver and defensive back here. I went with defensive back because the AFC South is loaded up on wide receivers all over the place. So I think they get Quinion Mitchell from Toledo.
Toledo's going to have a first-round pick.
Yeah, they should. He's a long, lengthy guy. He's mocked in the first round of pretty much every mock draft out there. So
Timmy Beckman's happy.
Number 18, the Cincinnati Bengals get a guy that honestly probably won't be there at 18, but that's how it fell on my board. Byron Murphy, the second defense tackle from Texas.
Yeah.
A lot of people think he could be the first defensive player drafted. So.
Yeah.
Number 19, the Los Angeles Rams. First time they've had a first-round pick since 2016. They get possibly the best edge rusher in the draft, according to a lot of NFL scouts. And Latu, I think that's how you from UCLA. I don't know.
I'm hoping he falls to 21 on Thursday.
Yeah. Number 20, Pittsburgh Steelers get some offensive line help from Russell Wilson or Justin Fields and Tyler Guyton, offensive tackle from Oklahoma. Number 21, Miami Dolphins. I have them getting some defensive line help with your boy, Jazon Newton.
Johnny Newton. Yeah. Luz Wilkins. He's been a guy that I've kind of wanted because he wreaks absolutely havoc in the backfield, especially from the defensive tackle positions. Kind of Aaron Donald light a little bit coming out of college. Obviously, he's not Aaron Donald. Donald's one of the greatest players to ever play, but his ability to rush the passer. Dolphins could absolutely do that. Could go edge rusher, could go offensive line, could get to a third pass catcher. There's cornerback. There's so many different spots they could go. And I saw today that their GM Chris Greer only put 21 first-round grades on players this year. So,
wow.
So they're in a spot where they could definitely take one.
Yep. Number 22, that's where I have the Denver Broncos selecting since they traded with the Philadelphia Eagles. Even though they got Zach Wilson today, I got them going quarterback, Bo Nix from Oregon. Crazy thing is, Bo Nix is the same age as Zach Wilson.
That is wild. Yeah. And thinking about watching Bo Nix when he was at Auburn and thinking there's no way this guy's a first-round pick.
Yep.
The top 6 quarterbacks on yours are the 6 quarterbacks in my picks.
Okay. The other quarterbacks, I think the next tier, you got Spencer Rattler. You got Tyler Pratt, I believe his name is, from Tulane. Those are kind of the next 2 probably after these 6. So number 23, I have the Chargers there via trade with the Vikings. I got them getting arguably the fastest wide receiver in the draft, Adonai Mitchell from Texas. Mm-hmm. He's one I thought about maybe for the Dolphins, but
I don't want him. He sounds like work ethic issues from what I've heard.
Good. Ship him out to LA then. Ship him out to LA. 24, the Dallas Cowboys. I have them getting the offensive guard, the first guard off the board, and Graham Barton from Duke. 25, the Packers. I have them getting a guy that you and I are very familiar with, Cooper DeJean, cornerback from Iowa. Good special team list, too.
Yeah, good returner.
26, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I have them getting, this is a great defensive back class, by the way. I have them getting a cornerback, Nate Wiggins, out of Clemson. 27, Arizona Cardinals. I have them getting edge rusher, Chop Robinson. What a name, from Penn State.
It's awesome.
28, the Bills. They definitely need wide receiver help now. I got them getting Brian Thomas Jr. from LSU.
Yeah, that'd be an absolute steal if he fell that far.
I know.
Kick me off.
I know. Probably way off there. But number 29, the Lions. I have them getting the best name in the first round of my mock draft, Kool-Aid McKinstry, cornerback from Alabama.
Kool-Aid. What's your favorite flavor of Kool-Aid? I've had Kool-Aid in 20 years.
I haven't either. Grape.
I like the grape. I like the green too.
Yeah. Man, I haven't had Kool-Aid at least 20 years either.
I'm going to do a grocery pickup tomorrow and get some Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid.
My wife
number 30. Yeah, you'll be fine. Number 30, the Baltimore Ravens. I have them getting some offensive line help for Lamar and offensive tackle J.C. Latham from Alabama. So Alabama kind of down year for them, but still they lost in the playoffs down year.
Yeah, they made the playoffs.
But they still have a lot of draft picks. Number 31, I have the San Francisco 49ers trading it to the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, boy.
And the Dolphins get center out of Oregon, Jackson Powers Johnson.
Yeah,
center in the draft.
Yeah, they need a center, especially after Connor Williams' injury. And I've seen him mocked to the Dolphins at 21 as well. So I'd be on board.
So would you be happy with those 2 picks I mocked?
I would absolutely.
All right.
You win in the trenches.
Yep. And 32, the Chiefs. Got them giving another weapon at wide receiver because that's what they do. They like to torment my life. And Ladd McConkey out of Georgia.
Now we'll see what happens with Rashee Rice too. So
that's true. That yeah, exactly. So that is my mock draft. We'll see how bad I do this year.